part 2 of chapter 7, Statistics. Now this video will focus mainly on group data. The equation has been given in part 1 of my video for this chapter. So this video is solely focused into the questions. What you have here on the left is a histogram. In a histogram, you will realize that in each of this class, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 class, this is called the lower boundary. Lower boundary for this class, whereas the number next to it is called the higher boundary, where you always plus 5 of it, 0.5 of it. This is a higher boundary for that class. As histogram, y-axis represents the number of people, whereby all the data here is being grouped. That's why group data. And number of people is called the F. Will be represented by F, with a mark represented by X. Okay. Now, if you are given a question like this, it won't get you anywhere. All you need to do in your answer sheets, you need to set up a table, right? Set a table. To do that, first step 1 is table setting. If you're given a group data like this, a histogram, first of all, set up data. Set up a table. Okay? What do you need? You need a class. And then the class would be based on here. This is a lower boundary. So the class would be 1 to 10. You minus 0.5 plus 0.5, you get into histogram. But in the table, is 1 and 10. Please take note about how to set out class and convert class into lower boundary. This is important. The number is from here, over on the left. You always plus 0.5. Then the class size is 1 to 10, so the next class will be 11 to 20. 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and 41 to 50. The class size is 10. Next, this will be from the class, I will get to know what is my X. The X value will be the middle. 1 plus 10, 11 by 2 is 5.5. Is the middle. It's in the middle. At the middle of each number. Since the class size is 10, I know the next number will be 15.5 and so on. You get marks in SPM 25.5 by setting up this this table. 35.5, 45.5 is quite time consuming, but it's worth it doing it. Okay, when you get X already, next you need to know your frequency F. Frequency F from here is how frequent. First class is 6. Read from here. 6. Second class would be 9. Third class would be 14. 7 and 4. Okay, once you are X, when you are F, you have X, there will not be a harm. Next, no need, since our equation for variance and standard deviation would be, you don't mind, I want to do it here. Standard deviation for group data would have a slight difference to the ungrouped data. difference would be the f. Over here, standard deviation therefore be equals to the sum fx squared over summation of f subtract the mean x. Right? The others rules apply. So therefore, you need fx squared. And here is where summation of fx comes in. Right? Over summation of f. So you need another column. The column called the fx, the product of f times x. F times x, put in calculator, times it in, it will be 33. 139.5. You need to practice at least 5 questions, 5 to 10 questions, because otherwise it's really hard during the exam. This kind of question would be like a bonus question, straightforward kind of type. Fx, next would be your fx squared. Fx squared, make sure you have a calculator, scientific calculator. You punch x squared and then you times with f. Or you may set an equation by using the red color alpha x and alpha y. Yeah. Read on your calculator menu to get this out. Of 1.8 from 5 times calculator is a huge number normally. That's why I will put it in the last column for fx squared. 0.25. Last column will be fx squared. 9103.5. It doesn't need to memorize everything. All you need is the general equation for variance. You get general equation for variance, you should be able to set up and you will know what do you need for your column 8281. Alright, once you have your number out, so at the end of it here is a summation of f. You sum them. 6, 9, 14, 7, 4 turns out to be 40. Whereas the summation of fx for this column would be 960, whereas here is a huge number, summation of fx squared, sum of the product of fx squared, a huge number here, 28,550. That's all about it. There are some questions that you need to find out the median, then maybe another column if you want, put it here, or here, add another column. It's called the capital F, Cumulative Frequency, whereby here's 6 plus 9, 15, 15 plus 20 is 29, 29 plus 7 is 36, 36 plus 4 is 40. It's called cumulative frequency. And then from there you will calculate things here and there. Now, once you get this table out done already, then a few things you should know. First would be our famous median mark. They'll find for median mark. In the middle, median mark, that would be total frequency is 40 by 2 mark. That would be the 20th. 20th mark. In order to get 20th mark, that would be, look at your cumulative effect. I mean, it's 29 here. This is 15, this is 29, so I would say the middle would be here. In the middle. This is my median class. So, therefore, median in the middle, yeah? Median class, if a question asks median class, that will be 21 to 30. You get 1 mark over here. And the median mark, the median mark. For median in the equation, median would be, you refer to my first video, they will have given you the general equation. That would be lower boundary. Here, lower boundary would be 20 and a half. Lower boundary 20 and a half, which is here. Lower boundary. So that would be 20 and a half plus, open bracket, median is half. So it's 20 or 1 over 2 times 40. Subtract 15, which is this number, cumulative frequency before the class, over the frequency of the class, which is here. Frequency of the class is here, 14. And then you times with the size, which is 10. The size of each class is 10. And then turns out the answer to be, I'll do it slowly because you need some time to understand the number. Close the bracket here. Okay, that's how you look for median. Lower boundary, half, median is half, before, cumulative before the class, over it frequency here, times 10. Good answer. The same is true, the same method is used to get interquartile range, whereas for interquartile range, I'm not going to calculate for you over here. Just a pointer. For interquartile range, that will be the third quartile subtract with the first quartile. Third quartile will be 3 over 4. That will be the lower boundary, plus for Q3, because it's different. It's 3 over 4 over n. Then the rest is the same. Subtract with the frequency before, cumulative frequency before the class, over the frequency at the third quartile times the class C. Whereas for quartile 1 is lower boundary. For that first quartile, lower boundary for quartile, 1/4 instead of 3/4. Subtract capital F over small f times with C. Okay, calculate the answer, and then you get the difference. You will get interquartile range. It's quite long-winded, but these are the kind of like bonus question. The same is true if you are asked to look for standard deviation. All you need is to get those numbers in. Therefore, here, will be equals to 28,550 over 40, subtract with 960 over 40 squared. Okay, you get the answer. maybe I'll let you calculate from your side, kind of interaction. Hope you get the answer right. And then in the event they ask for standard deviation, the standard deviation will be square root of this number. That will be 11.74 mark. Okay. Well, to convince you, you will get the right answer. No, I think I'm not going to do that. You check with your answer. So the standard deviation, this is standard deviation. The one that we calculated earlier is called the variance. Okay? This is basically all about what you should know. Now, next, the final part for group data. Again, now it's a group data, paper 2 normally, question 4 or 6, 4, 5, 6, sometimes around that. You were given, straight away they give you a table, so nice, yeah. But now, they ask for a median. This is given, yeah, they give you, given the following, okay. If you're given the following, you can't make do with any good with this. You need to set up a new table. So what you do is, in your answer sheets, you set a table where you have score 10 to 19, 10 to 19. Now, since I already have it here, but in your paper, in your answer, you should rewrite this, copy down this, and then get an X, which is the middle number. This is F. In your answer sheet, depends on how question asks. Your X will be the middle number. This is F. You should get a cumulative frequency, etc. So this is 1, this is 3. Here you get 3. Here I'll get 11. I get 23. I'll get 23 plus K. I get 24 plus K. Okay? Now, you were told in the question that the median of the mark is 42. Median mark is 42. You need to find the number of people K. Okay, this is not kind of straightforward, but make use of the equation. But don't worry, this is how you're going to do. You need to get the median equation from the equation book or from the of the distribution is 42. Now, to solve this, I'm going to lay it over here. Solution. Median. First of all, you need to identify where is the median class. The median class for median score would be therefore the total number for case is this is a total number, cumulative frequency. So that will be 24 plus k. Because you sum everything should be 24 plus k over 2. I mean, this is the TH score in this class. So therefore, from here, I would say is somewhere after 12. So here's 11. So obviously, my median class would fall anything after here. And it's so convincing because the value here, the frequency here, is 12. So it must fall in this class. So therefore, our main conclusion is median class would therefore be is at 40 to 49. And we need to be clear so that I will be able to find what is the lower boundary and upper boundary. And since given the median class 42, so therefore the lower boundary would be 39.5 plus total number by half, total frequency by half, median, subtract the frequency before, cumulative frequency before median class over the frequency at the median class, which is 12, which I highlighted over here, times the size of class is 10, given is equals to 42. So it has to be given, it has to, I mean, you need to know what is the answer so that we're able to find out the k, because my main intention is to look for the k. So you times it in, rearrange them, you should arrive with 24 plus k over 2 minus 11 is equals to 3. You further solve this, and therefore k is equals to 4. If you get this answer, you may pause this video, do it on a piece of paper, and the same goes with all my video. You should copy my videos accordingly, pause it, you have some time, go through your own notes, and you make your own notes from my video. It helps you to study. That's the way to do it. Okay, so here you should give rise to k equals to 4. Now if you know k equals to 4, next part of the video, next part of the question would be, what would you are asked to draw a histogram for this set of data. Okay, histogram. Now histogram, one thing you need to make sure you're using lower boundary and upper boundary. For all the classes. Okay, by using a scale of 2 cm to 10 score, 2 cm to 2 people is a vertical axis accordingly. Histogram 2 represents the frequency distribution. Well, if you have a graph paper, I don't have a graph paper here. If you have a graph paper, and to use the scale, you have graph paper, you can do it over there. 2 cm represents 10 score over the horizontal axis, meaning the x-axis. And for y-axis, which is the frequency, I want it to be 2 cm for 2 pupils. Okay? So you have your graph paper, then you should be able to get it in. I'm going to sketch it here. Try to sketch it here. Where this is my score. This is my 0, my frequency. Then, interestingly, is you should get something like this: 2 cm, and then 2 cm. Well, maybe here and here, and then highest is the 4th one. Which is the 12 that we have earlier. And then I don't have a graph paper, that's why it's not up to scale. But if you were to have a graph paper there, then this is how it should look like. Most importantly is the lower boundary. Instead of 10, you should use 9.5. 20, instead of 20, 19.5. Let's go back to the previous page. 9.5, why is it 9.5? Because here, the number before is 9.5. The number after upper boundary is 19.5. Okay? Okay? That's where you got this. Eventually, we proceed 29.5, 39.5. Don't have space, run out of space for the 9.5. This problem wouldn't happen in your graph paper. If you have graph paper, 59.5 and 69.5. Okay? And then you will ask from the histogram, look for the mode score. So in order to get mode score, what you can do is use a pencil. Go for the mode, which is the maximum. This vertex, draw it to here. This point, draw over here. At the intersection point, or in blue, this point, drop it down, and you read for your number here. That would be 43, which is your mode. Read from your histogram. Well, maybe I want to tell you, oh, okay, this is correspond to 1, and this is number correspond to 2, this correspond to 8, correspond to 12, and once you get the answer there, this is 4, because in the previous part you managed to find out what's k already. This 1 and correspond to here, to 1. Okay, so your mode score would therefore be equals to 43. Answer the question. Get some marks here. asked in the event part 2, maybe part 1, what is the new mode score? New mode. If the score of each people increased by 5, if each people increase mode score, each people increase by 5, increase by 5. Mode score, if everyone increased by 5, so the mode score, the new mode score would also increase by 5. Because everyone is increasing 5, the new mode score therefore would be 43 plus 5, which is 48. The new mode score is 48. Okay, this is one of those examples for group data in from SPM from SPM paper 2. It won't run far from what I've shown you. The pattern is always histogram, mode, mean, interquartile range, quartile, and for etc. And also mean, mode, median, variance, times a number, add a number. If you go through all these chapter, all 2 videos in this chapter, make your own notes, and I'm sure you will excel in this chapter. And those questions are were like a bonus question. But most importantly, you need to listen to my advice for this chapter, for group and group data. Say for example, each of them you should at least try 8 to 10 questions. Group data, 8 to 10 questions. Ungroup data, 8 to 10 questions. So making it total 20 questions attempt, at least 20 questions attempt for this chapter. Most importantly, you need to make your own notes. You can't just sit there and watch my video and you thought you know it. You need to download this video or pause it, try to copy down what I have written, make your own notes, and you will be excel in doing AdMaths. AdMaths is not something too far to be achieved for AA. Getting an A in a SPM is piece of cake. Even if in a BM or in English, it doesn't really matter. What matters most is the concept. How do you tackle those questions? Language would be just a tool to convey the idea. Ask the question. If you understand BM English, English BM shouldn't be a problem. So with that, I hope you do well. Stay tuned for my next video. I hope you will like my video by pressing the thumbs up button from my YouTube channel. Help others by sharing this with friends easily through YouTube channel or through your social network site, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. You know well. Help the others as how I help you. That's all from me. Stay tuned to my next video.